Oh, Annabelle, thank you. This is the second time I've been out to String Poet, and this one is already proving to be as magical as the first. It was extremely memorable, and I'm so looking forward to hearing the setting that we'll hear later in the program today of Richard's wonderful poem. So I'll just read a few poems. I guess I'll read from a few different books. So this was from my first book. I was living in San Francisco and reading the San Francisco Chronicle, which is a little light on news, I'll be honest with you. I mean, certainly compared with the New York Times. And it was filled with a lot of human interest stories, typically, one of which was about a woman who had gone outside of her house, an older woman had gone outside to smoke a cigarette and was attacked by a rabid fox, which knocked her down. And so this is about that incident, but it's also about reading it in the newspaper, and then it kind of jumps in time from the newspaper to the actual account to her recovery in the hospital, kind of back and forth without really much announcement of the fact. So. But it begins with the newspaper. It's called Woman Holding a Fox. Buried inside, page 3, below the fold, a woman crumpled on fresh dirt begins to get the gist that she has lost the use of her left leg, that when she tripped, her hip gave out. Shock explains this all to her, a self-assured young doctor mouthing, "Rest." The reason for the break, a rabid fox that came at her when she stepped out for half a cigarette. Age 79, the paper said. She hadn't toppled far, merely down her few front steps, but late enough that no one finds her till the following day. And here's the eerie part. Just when she thinks to drag herself down to the curb, the twisted fox comes back. In hours, her arms are bitten blue, waving her one defense. Her glasses lost in tufted grass, she hears it thread the underbrush before she sees it leap. At 2 o'clock, a nurse toggles the lamp, something for the pain, since after dark, the fox has come to look on her as prey, the way he circles, then descends. This is no dream, she tells herself, yet it had seemed unreal from the initial streak of red, a comedy at first, a photo op, then something else. An eye-white flash our unsuspecting trust shields us from, until the outward show no longer jibes. She's landed in her garden row, her Marlboro still smoking on the carefully weeded path. Beyond the gate, a sunset has begun. The swatch of sky above her roof dyed jacaranda blue. These are things she sees as she assumes things can't get worse, but then they do. When it returns, she clasps it to herself. Somehow she has managed to fix small hands around its muzzle and bared teeth. All night she feels it panting and enraged, then weirdly calm, so off and on for hours until someone spots her there. A neighbor comes, she knows that now, but on the sedge she hadn't guessed that it would end so well. As for what crowds her head, a single thought, repeated in contrition, while the same minute extends, infinitely regressing between mirrors set opposed. Music's playing down the hall, carried on a crack of light that shows the door ajar. It's nearly dawn. I have not killed the fox. My arms barely keep him hemmed. My fingers have gone limp. Across the lawn, an amniotic slick of dew gives off a silver sheen and sudden cold. "I'm glad you happened by," she wryly croaks when he appears. Before he batters in the hissing fox, he asks her why she simply didn't let it run away. "I know this creature pretty well by now." She shows her skin. It's true. She understands the fox. and wonders if she hasn't always known that he was there. Known it when her first child was born, and known it too the day her husband died 3 years ago. At any rate, she knows it now. Will always keep him close in her embrace from day to day up till a time when memories of these no longer serve.